What's up, guys? This is my reply to Roqayah and on her video, which is titled Roqayah on Egypt's Hosni Mubarak. It's my first reply video. El Gamal involved me in all this YouTube video drama. Minnak lillah ya akhi. But anyways, okay, so I suggest you check out her video first, which I linked to my video before you watch my reply. I'm going to try to make it short. First, let me say I'm 100% against Zionism and Israel's occupation of Palestine, their brutal oppression of the Palestinians, and their inhumane, callous murder of everyone, women, children, just whoever. We'd pretty much have no Hamas in the first place if Israel had not put the Palestinians through what they put them through. But this in no way means that because I'm against what Israel does, that I'll blindly support someone like Hamas. Hamas has caused a disaster for the Palestinian cause. What I do is I use logic, not just emotion when I think. Logic, not simply emotion, is what in the end makes sense, okay? So try to just use a little logic here. First, when the announcer guy asks Roqayah for her opinion on the subject, she says, you say you're going to say what you want, but if you really said what you want, you'd probably get killed. You're right, you would if we had people like Hamas running countries, but thank God we don't. It's known Hamas has killed many Palestinians who didn't agree with them or who are from Fatah. They simply call them collaborators, kill them with no trials, but hey, at least they're nice enough and they do take care of those people's families afterwards and send them money and food and so on. I guess you can call them sentimental murderers. Then you go on to call Hosni Mubarak and Abbas traitors. Now, I won't say Hosni Mubarak is good for Egypt at all, but I will say that you can't call him a traitor. I'm starting to feel that anyone who wants or is trying to bring peace in a peaceful way, people like you just call a traitor automatically. But if anyone pretty much grows a beard, they claim they're pious Muslims, you'll just blindly follow, not even taking into consideration the ills and the harms they may bring and the faults concerned with them. You say Hosni Mubarak is a scumbag and a dog. I'm not one who tries to bring religion into every single conversation, but I know that you're always bringing religion into conversation. So just, for your information, it's haram to call another human an animal in Islam. Just saying that. Then you say he was allowing Palestinians to get killed when they were crossing in. Really? Because the last known fact is that Hamas gunmen shot 3 Egyptian policemen and one of them died. A 31-year-old policeman from Egypt got killed by Hamas gunmen shot in the back. And then also on January 25th, I mean, this is, concerning animals, but hey, I'll just say it anyways. Hamas gunmen also started shooting this time at Egyptian police German Shepherds and killed 3 of them just for no reason. But I guess killing God's creation to you means nothing since they're dogs, This is just this year. And by the way, also in 2007, many Egyptian police were also hurt when Hamas attacked the border, then attacked them. And they were pretty much attacking them because they knew that the Egyptian police weren't going to shoot back at them. And the Gazans were just going right into Egypt doing whatever they wanted. Then you say that Mubarak said if any Palestinian comes into Egypt, I'm going to break their leg. First of all, it was not Mubarak who said this. It was Abu Ghait. But anyways, this was after Hamas's attacks on Egyptian border guards and the Egyptian border in 2007. Listen, this is Egypt, not freaking Disneyland. They can't just waltz in through the border like they own the place. We're a sovereign country. We've had our arms open for Palestinians for decades, but once you have an armed militia like Hamas, who even kill their own people, who believe in death, 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 all the time, of course we're going to have reservations and issues with letting them into our country. We don't want our country radicalized and destabilized and people running around with AK-47 and AK-47s and tuxedo suits like pretty much Hamas does. Then you say, F-16s and we should go, Mubarak should cover Israel in his planes and so on. F-16s, wow. You want Egypt to go to war for what reason? People die for what reason? Hamas attacks our borders, kills our police, talk bad about Egypt. Palestinians throw shoes at the Egyptian ministers who are trying to help them. Hamas split the Palestinian cause. Now we have Gaza and we have the West Bank. You want us to fight for who exactly? You want us to fight for people that aren't even united, that kill each other? We fought many wars for Palestine. Now is the time for peace. A military conflict will not bring any solution. And why do people always have to put all the responsibility on Egypt? I didn't see one other leader move a finger. Fatah and Hamas kill each other and can't sit at one negotiating table, but you want to put the Egyptian soldier in front of the gun to fight and maybe die for what, when they can't even unite? Then you say overthrow the government. Now you're 19, right? A 19-year-old person is gonna talk about overthrowing governments. Wow. Egypt's internal affairs are none of the Palestinians or Arabs' business. If our government changes, which we will be happy when it does, hopefully we'll get a government that concentrates on fixing Egypt first and puts Egypt first. Masr awalan. We need to help Egypt before we're able to help anyone else. We have so many problems in Egypt that need to be fixed. Some people can't even eat. And until we have a government that puts Egypt and Egyptians first above all else, then maybe we'll be able to help the Palestinians in the way that you want us to help them. But we do help them a lot now. But no matter what, as long as Palestinians are divided and Hamas keeps saying we will never make peace with Israel, then guess what? No one can help you and there won't be any peace. Then you say he shakes hands with Olmert. Yes, he does. Let me ask you something. If Egypt doesn't bring Israel and the Palestinians to the negotiating table, who else will? You need to thank God he shakes hands with Olmert. Also, he's a president. He's not like some guy in the street. He has to. Of course he shakes hands. Egypt is a country. What do you think he'll do? Spit at Olmert or something? Even enemies on the battlefield sometimes shake hands. So this point is invalid and makes no sense. All Egyptians are with the Palestinian cause, but not once did I hear you say that Hamas was also partly responsible for what happened. Not once did you put any of the blame on Hamas, as if they're angels or something. Egypt warned Hamas 100 times not to antagonize the situation. We all know how brutal and inhumane that Zionist army is. So why antagonize them when you can't protect your civilian population? This is not called bravery. This is called stupidity. Waiting for the right time and first trying to find every other way instead of bloodshed is not cowardness. السلام مش استسلام, okay? السلام مش لازم يبقى استسلام. But of course, Hamas doesn't care about their civilian population, and in the end, we saw what happened to the poor Palestinians, the people living in Gaza. I hold Hamas just as responsible as Israel for what happened, of course on different levels and so on, but in the end the result was devastating for the people living in Gaza and nothing was achieved. Then you talk about the Egyptian people saying we're not the government and so on. Well, of course that's true, but guess what? Many millions of Egyptians share my view, and many were happy with what the government did concerning the situation in Gaza in particular. Most of those demonstrations you saw in the streets were organized by the thugs of the Muslim Brotherhood group, which is related to Hamas. A group that doesn't even care about Egypt. The group leader of the Muslim Brotherhood, and I quote, said, "Toz fa Masr." Okay? Those people don't care about Egypt or Egypt's citizens or the well-being or economy of Egypt. They simply use religion and use people's minds to gain power. That's it. An entirely different subject, so let's just go back to this subject. Also, thanks for correcting the announcer who tries to talk as if people in Egypt can't even protest or speak their mind whatsoever. At least you got that right. They are able to a little bit. Many speak up against the government, and it's in many papers and media outlets as well. Of course, still there is not real freedom of expression, and sometimes the security forces do interfere and beat people. بس يعني علقة تفوت ولا حد يموت. Anyways, that's pretty much it, and I hope you got my point, and thank you.